rock climbing, just and it wasn't the first time he fucked up his feet because of rock climbing. Everyone's got problems with knees and shoulders and stuff like that. It's all from skiing or rock climbing and shit like that.
I tell you what, none of us are young guys anymore, Jay, except for Chrome, of course. And I think every one of us has a shoulder problem from carrying stuff we shouldn't have over the last decade or two. Like every one of us.
I live a pampered, sedentary lifestyle.
Yeah, you don't have to carry like a big there is something to be said for it. There is something to be said for it. It's less painful. But get this. So I'm like, well, this is not going to fucking ruin my vacation. Like it's right in the middle. Fortunately, a couple days before I had gone to the San Diego Zoo, I went to the Midway Aircraft Carrier Museum. I'd been to the comic book shop, a bunch of cheap comic books. Been to the smoke shop, had a couple of cigars, suntan lotion, whatever. So, and I had my backpack. Fortunately, I had a good supply of water with me and some energy bars, because I would just got right back on the bike, fucking tighten everything up. It's like, I've got to get the bike back. I mean, like, here's what I did. I stopped freaking out as soon as I could walk myself back in my mind from where I was to when I got home safely to receive medical attention. And I saw no obstacles to that. It's like, chill the fuck out. I was in pain, it hurt. And so I went to the beach, camped out, hobbled to the ocean. That cool Pacific Ocean water felt so fucking good. I said to myself, it was almost worth breaking my ankle just to feel the sensation. This feels so good. I sat down, I had 3 Swamp Thing comic books, fucking food, smokes, and, and I hung out till about 2 o'clock. And then I was like, I better get fucking some ice on this thing. And then the next day I went and saw my friend, and did everything that day. We're just hanging out at her place, outside of San Diego North, and her funky place, garden, these funky garden homes and stuff like that in Cali, if you know the vibe. It was really lovely. Then, next morning, time to get the fuck out of there, right? And I'm in a cheap sleep.
And he's gone. Right in the middle of the story. Cheap, sleazy
we wanted to hear the cheap, sleazy motel part of the story.
Yeah, of course.
That's how you get. He's going to have to will he be able to rejoin this, or will he have to restart it entirely?
I have no idea.
Oh, there he is.
I'm just moving my hand. Relax. The information was there when I first arrived, and this is 5 days later. I didn't really put it all together until I was in the middle of it. I'll tell you about that at another time. The long and short of it is, it distracted me enough that when I drove back up to like Del Rio to drop off a beach chair and a beach towel to a friend of mine, so I didn't have to rent one or buy one or whatever, or take it on the plane. When I got to her house and dropped that shit off and wanted to go get a cup of coffee, I realized I had left my wallet on the roof of my rental car. Fucking about 15 miles back south. I've got to go back that way. I'm going to the airport, right? But all of a sudden, my situation has just gone from, accidents happen, no big deal, vacation's almost done, we're out of here, to, 3-alarm fire. And I said, you can't. I said that the facts aren't in. The fat lady hasn't sung yet. You don't have permission to freak out until you know for certain you're not going to find your driver's license again. And so 90 miles an hour, I-5, 152, 515, whatever the routes are. On the Balboa exit in Garnet, fucking, Monday morning traffic. People honking at me. Back out in the hotel. The tweakers are still there. And then I was like, yeah, I fucking left my wallet on the roof of my car. They scammed me. They started fucking helping me find my wallet. So, broken leg and all, as I'm walking around the parking lot, I go up on the intersection, the main intersection where you peel out, because you got to do some hard turns to get into traffic, out of traffic. and just to get to the on ramp. It's like maybe it fell off in the intersection when I was busting a move because it wasn't in the parking lot. And so I'm hobbling around, and I take the beep, 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 go on the other side, beep, 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 and I'm hauling. I instantly, when I broke my leg, I was like, I've just gone from happy tourist to homeless person. Everyone thinks I'm a homeless person. Because I got a backpack, I got a bike, and my leg's all fucked up. So anyway, I see it.
Hell of a
I
week.
see it right in the fucking middle of the intersection. Garnett Main intersection thoroughfare, Mission Bay Boulevard, 4 lanes of traffic, and I just hobble right out there. Hands this way, that way. People are yelling at, honking horns. I don't know if anyone's yelling at me. Grab my wallet, I fucking hold it up the air, and victory, fucking yeah! And I hobble, back off and get in my car and get the fuck out of here. That's my story. This was all sober, by the way. There was no drugs or alcohol involved. This is completely sober.
Well, yeah, you're a completely sober guy.
Yep. And I've got about 5 other stories like that from my life. So, Oaken's in. We got a game. We're on. And do you need any more of those pictures of the grounds of Pondsville? Do you have access to those? Should I post one up? I can post one up.
I think they're all still there. Nothing's changed since last time, has it?
No. We're in media res as usual. And you wiped out a company of U.S. Army soldiers in their
I'm working on a song for next week. One Night in Pondsville.
One night in Pondsville and you was your oyster. You can't be too careful with your company.
Tell you what, you can never quite stay out of Pondsville in Jay's game. There's nothing you can do to get away from Pondsville.
Getting dragged back to Pondsville. Everyone's going back to Pondsville. So yeah, there it is. I think we're right. The circle is where you are, where the epicenter of shit is. Or did you make a big hole? Or
we wrecked a lot of things.
I remember you wrecked Army ATVs, armored personnel carriers, and all-terrain vehicles, and squads of soldiers with
at the front of the. I bent the big antenna in the middle of the installation.
Yeah.
Yep, that was poking up.
Yeah, we were originally over toward the town, the ghost town, is where Professor and I were originally at when what was her name? The feral gal came charging at us.
Yep. Did you take her out or did she run away?
We took her out.
I was dead.
How'd you take her out?
He was dead. Professor was dead at the time, but he got better. He got better.
Yeah.
See,
Professor, how long did it take for you to revive yourself from a state of death, actual death, to sitting up and joining the gang? How much time passes for that? 2 minutes, did you say?
Well, it varies, but with the rolls and everything, it ended up being about 3 or 4 minutes total, 5 minutes maybe.
Okay.
It was a full minute before the regeneration was done, and then I was alive, but at negative body, and then the regeneration kicked in, and every minute I rolled a recovery roll. So somewhere between 3 and 5 minutes total.
Got you. So short enough time period that the rest of the crew, the rest of 3 of you, would be taking a breather and looking at the aftermath of your conflict, your rampage with the U.S.
Well, actually,
Army.
I was looking at the professor going, holy shit, he's dead. Wait,
he's done this before,
dead.
really. I've seen him dead before. He should be okay.
Yeah.
So I'll let you guys go around, do a bit of role playing before we take it a step further.
Give him a minute, right? He should be getting up because I'm not sure what actually kills him. But anyway, I want to go check out what's happening. The APCs, the couple of supervillains. There was a general we were going after. Like, where are these people?
Well, the general is near the helicopter is a right there is like a command and control or administrative building. It looks like the main building of if you were coming up to a military installation and wanted to see the office, that's what it looks like. And the General Grause is actually leaving, is coming out of that. He's got one of his odd aide de camp, what do they call him, Batman, or could be chief of staff, his lackey, with a notebook coming out. He's surveying, the flaming wreckage. He bends down and, picks up one of the Star Post rifles. He waves to some of you. Can see some more soldiers are coming out from those warehouses. And the barracks, anyone that was hiding out in the barracks. And the general's giving him a motion to stand down, like he's got this. And he's striding up to you guys.
Chrome, you want to take this? You're indestructible. I'm not.
Yeah. All right, so he's coming to us.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not in a non-threatening manner. He's just got he looks like Patton. He picks up the rifle off the fucking, the battlefield. He looks like he'd kiss some of the fucking unconscious soldiers because he's just so proud of them, going toe to toe against the titans of the earth type of thing. He's pretty puffed with himself. Yeah, and he's signaling the rest of the troops that are starting to show themselves to stand out.
Hey, Big Brass, what's the point? What's the idea here of sending your superhero goons after us? Superpowered goons after us?
Well, you attacked and trespassed on a sensitive U.S. military installation. So
we were standing outside the fence when people came after us. Which is in fact true.
Yes, it is, but details. You have no reason to be here, and you can see why. Fucking epic carnage everywhere. But it looks like you just knocked my boys, them good soldiers, around. So we're not looking at any murder charges, but it's a pretty stiff fine for coming in and wrecking a sensitive site.
Who's going to pay for my suit?
Well, the U.S. Army can pay for your suit, boy, if you get on the right side of history.
That's the professor.
You know what's going on here? Do you see what's going on here? Do you have a clue? You know what's coming down, people?
Help me. No, I don't know. Help me. What's going down?
And thanks for your preemptive attack on my facility here. This is just going to be great media footage for this evening. What is it? It's like I'm on my way. Here's what the deal is. I'm on my way in that helicopter to have lunch with the Secretary of State. And in about 2 minutes, the Rapid Strike Force will be here first to arrest you. And if there's any resistance, in probably another 5 or 10 minutes, a brigade will be rolling up and taking you down. Unless you consider registering. Because by tomorrow, all you folks are going to be rounded up like hogs. And anyone that stretches the line is going to get buried. That's what's coming.
Sentinels?
Now, I got to admit, I didn't do so well in my history classes, but that sounds an awful lot like something I remember. This Adolf Hitler guy.
Yeah, well, Hitler was all about picking on the weak. This is all about survival against the strong. You know what it is. Even Professor, anyone?
Attacking civilians? Is that what your plan is?
No, attacking EE, enhanced entities. You're either with us or against us. And you just moved up the timetable, though things have been rolling along just well. But pretty soon, my suggestions will be rolled out in Congress, and you know, you're gonna have to step in line. Either registered or be arrested. End of story. Resistance will be met with prejudicial force.
The whole time this conversation's going on, the professor, like normal, has got one eye on this general guy talking and one eye on the base, trying to see if he can, if anything is perception-wise, if there's anything that is being hidden or that he can pick up that normally wouldn't be visible.
I can't think of anything. What you have is, besides a scattering of soldiers forming up into squads, kind of in a circle randomly around you, depending on which building or where they came from after hearing the noise and seeing the explosions. And I guess that's right near that parking lot where the helicopter and the warehouses are.
Yeah, I would presume that based on what happened in the fight, that we're about at that inside corner of that parking lot area, because that's kind of halfway between where they were coming from and where we were coming from.
Yeah, and you've been here a while now for a fight of what? You've probably been here all about 5 minutes. North of that parking lot is warehouses with, there's no trucks in them anymore, but there was, obviously. And then behind that end of the ghost town was some of the buildings were retrofitted into machinist shops. It looks like that was where the Star Pulse guns were being machined.
The good ones or the junky ones?
Good ones.
Okay.
Yep, and they're being sent out across the United States to special select units that know what the score is, and when the Enhanced Registration Act is rolled out in force, we're ready.
As unobtrusively as possible, I want to hit redial on my phone without making a big issue out of it, and just hopefully the reporter guy will hear this exchange and some of the things that are being said.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to continue to try and engage the general.
Well, he's in a hurry. He's got lunch and golf with the Secretary of State. He's going to be going now as that helicopter, there's a pilot in there, starts to rev up.
Yeah, helicopter's just not starting. Helicopter's just not going to get started.
Yeah, I don't think that helicopter's making it out of the space at this particular time.
It seems to be developing a mechanical problem.
No bueno.
Stop the rotors, let the motor burn up.
All that kind of thing.
Well, something a little more subtle than that, but
General Grause, he takes that as your decision, and he motions for all his soldiers to get behind him wherever they are, and says, well, while we're down at about 30 seconds, the Rapid Strike Force will be here and the game's on. This is your last chance. There's no going back from this.
But General, we've got to talk about the fact that your powered entity henchmen attacked us for no reason. We were outside the grounds of the base and you attacked us.
But by this time tomorrow, I'll have all the reason in the world, because none of you have complied with the Registration Act. I know your people's history. You've been running loose all over the country doing what have you.
In the general Flintbucket, I think
so by tomorrow,
just
the fact that you're not registered
in my life. I don't think I've ever heard anybody be wrong so many times in such a single statement. That's kind of impressive.
Wrong or right, it's all about survival. It's either humans or enhanced entities. There's going to be no mixing.
So wait, this Registration Act that you're saying they're going to pass? So I remember an ex poster factor thing that says that what you did before it was illegal isn't illegal.
Whole new world. You people have brought it into a whole new world.
So what? We're declaring martial law now? What are you saying here?
I'm saying I know where a lot of your powers come from, and you don't. I know what's coming down the line. I know what
Do you
the
know the
future
difference
looks
between
like.
today and tomorrow, General? Tomorrow you won't be wet. I launch him into the lake.
Okay. So,
What, his medals?
you're good.
Military.
So yeah, you're gonna fire up your powers, initiative, and all that. But before that, what's your
I really was hoping to get them to make the first move.
Whatever happened to the feral chick that cut up my suit?
She got knocked unconscious. I cold cocked her, remember? That was my amazing doubles.
Yeah, Chrome knocker to next week.
Two things I got to go first. The professor, let's make your what you were making a roll to look for anything out of the ordinary.
Perception?
Yeah, perception. That's your intelligence. What's your score? What's your acting value?
I think I would have brought dice to the table.
Yep, it's not. You bring but you just brought that knife to that gunfight, didn't you?
12. Acting value 12.
Roll 2d10. Tell me what you get. Total of the dice.
Plus 1 column shift for my sharp eye.
What'd you roll? 11?
Plus one column shift for my sharp eye. So acting value is 12, but there's also a column shift in my favor.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I got you. So instead of
10.
so yeah. Anyways, you rolled a 10. So
and the effect value is 6 because of the accuracy.
What it results is right before Metal is about to launch the general, you can tell that there's a space right behind her that's like the light is being refracted, disturbed. You can clearly see it's in the shape of a person. You have a chance to say something.
Metal duck!
And now we'll roll for initiative, guys. Now everyone gets to roll initiative. Instead of Metal just being surprised by someone invisible.
Obviously yelling that the disruptor has been pulled out also.
You know, the last invisible person that attacked me, it didn't go well for.
So we're rolling.
If Metal ducks, I'm shooting over her head. Yeah, if I ever yell duck, guys, just duck. I'm shooting right at you.
So, 31, and I'm not going to, 31. See, tell me if anyone goes first.
Yeah, hold on, I got to. You got a 31?
I do.
Metal.
24.
The intelligence of 12 has to give you one hell of a boost on your initiative.
Yeah, it does. Seeing things ahead of time. Oaken, what'd you get for your initiative?
I think Oaken's muted.
No, I don't think so. I don't think he's talking.
Oaken, you there?
He's on Pornhub.
He's losing all his bandwidth from Pornhub. Can't hear you.
No audio.
So you got to mess with your audio settings. Sometimes going in and out, whatever. But it's on your end somehow because we're all good.
All right,
If
Jay,
you have
you can type in the chat if you want. Take 26. There's also a chat function if you want to just 26. Chrome?
26 also.
I'm at 26 also. I misspoke earlier. 21 plus 3 plus 2.
So Chrome,
26.
Oaken, and the professor at 26. Metal goes first. What are you going to do?
Oh, let's see. Duck.
I suggest ducking.
So you'll recall I'm in the biker suit, the motorcycle armor. I'm going to push myself to the right about 100, at over 100 miles an hour. So I am very quickly dodging to the right. I'm giving myself one hell of an opposing value.
Yep. What's your opposing value to a dexterity attack?
So so what I'm doing is I'm using my major power, my magnetic control, to move myself. So you tell me, but it strikes me my opposing would be my magnetic control at this point.
Very good. What do you have?
12.
12? And Eclipse, because when he uses his power, he's got to, even though he's invisible, you get to see him. Kind of like that Predator thing, but you know it's him because of the same, this is what Eclipse
is. Is this the same guy I met on the space station?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they all got away.
Ah, I lost points for him dying. Shit.
Your background screen wiped out the picture. We didn't get to
Yeah. So, thought that was funny. How about that? Can you see that? Whoa, how about that?
There it is.
Yeah.
It's tiny. I can't see it anyway.
I pirated this image. This is not mine, but it looked good for a villain called Eclipse that can go invisible and has a paralyzing touch. And so your opposing value, what was that again? Sorry, no.
Is 12. I just launched myself very quickly.
Yep. He's got to get a 13 or better to touch you. Gets 14 double sevens. $24.
Resistance is 13. This guy's going to go right through my very best roll because I destroyed him in one roll the last time. This is before you guys joined the mission. The guy come at me, bushwhacked me, had me dead to rights, rolled double ones.
That's right. It was the first fumble of the campaign. I've never seen, and another one hasn't happened since.
Oh no, I fumbled since then.
Oh yeah, okay. Okay, what was your resistance, sir?
13.
13, which is very good, but you guys just got to fucking wallop with a bunch of column shifts. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he does 4 points of damage, which means you're paralyzed. So you go to, and he's just faster than you. His powers. You're going to make your metallic metal move, and Eclipse goes, payback's a bitch, bizarre!
So, question, Jay. I'm paralyzed. Does that include my mental powers?
Go to the book if you don't mind.
I will look it up. Yep.
Because now it is the rest of you guys' turn.
I think I'm trying to remember because I just read all that paralyzed stuff a lot in the last week. I know coma knocks your intelligence and mind to 0, but paralyzed, I think you're just physically frozen. You're not actually unconscious.
It affects dex and body. Right. So he did so Jay, it strikes me he paralyzed me, but I got away anyway. Using a mental power, I shot myself across the length of the base, but I'm paralyzed. Is that about right?
Sure. Yeah,
okay.
You're faster than him. So you activated your power and he touched you, and so you went
just flying across the base like this. Hold that pose.
Okay. Let's
do all
see.
the how do you order all the 26s?
Whoever has the highest dex goes first.
So you went flying.
Anyway,
I have a 9 dex.
That threw you 40 feet. Metal. Combination. Well, I guess 40 feet of it completely. Yeah, at least 40 feet. And what? How? So, yeah. Next.
Did she hit anything?
No, I'm seeing it's a bit of a distance before you hit the ghost town there. I don't
Okay.
think 40 feet's going to cover that ground. But she goes, metals down. So who's next? Who out of you three wants to take an action?
Well, that's what we said. We were trying to figure out how the 26s go. Mike said that it was by dex. So I have a dex of 9. Does anybody beat that?
I was just going to yell triple shock power and declare a team attack, since we're all going at the same time anyways.
Oh, nice.
And Oaken, you have your mic muted. Are you aware of that? Yeah.
Okay.
If you have your mic unmuted, we can hear you.
Hey, Oaken.
So I might have hit that by accident. Well, actually, when you open the screen, it's like that, isn't it?
I don't know. But
It can be. It can be. You can set it
Yeah.
either way. You just got to go over your settings to make sure when you.
Yeah, I didn't see it. It's right there in front of me. I didn't see it.
Totally cool.
All right,
But-
we're doing a team attack, huh?
I don't know. Is that what you guys are suggesting?
Well, Professor's was going to fire, and so I'm going to wait and see the result of that because I don't want to run in and get shot because I don't come back from the dead. So.
Mm-hmm. Oaken, do you want to time your shot with the professor?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll back clean up. You guys go ahead.
So what are we attacking? The general?
The invisible guy that bushwhacked me.
You can attack the general if you want, Oaken, but we are targeting the suddenly not so invisible person that just walloped metal.
The sparkly mystical portal that just opened up behind metal.
I wasn't paying attention. I was reading through my settings. My bad. Yeah, let's attack that invisible person that just appeared.
Okay. What is when you do a team attack? One person declares. Everyone gets to roll for the attack, but you get the column shift. Is that my understanding?
Everybody gets a column, or let me check it, or 2 in their favor because they're coordinating attack. Everybody rolls their own separate attack.
Yeah. Okay. So there's 2 of you. So each of you
With
get
a
a column
+2.
your favor.
Yeah, -1 column shift to the OV.
So you don't get a plus, they get a minus. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It always affects. I think a lot of times these modifiers it affects the opposing value or the resistance value. Doesn't really
It's the
affect
same place.
yours.
I mean, it's
You can do it.
mathematically identical, but sure.
Yeah, if you stick it to one side the way they got it, it's a little less confusing. At least for me, if I can try to keep it standard.
I thought you did. I thought it was just +2 to your roll.
No, it's 1 column shift in your favor.
Yeah, but there's 3 of you, not 2 of you, so you get 2 columns in your favor.
Now, Chrome said he's just
attacking.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm batting cleanup. I'm letting them. I don't want to jump in front and get shot, so I'm waiting to let them do their thing, and then I'm going to go in and hit them afterwards.
Professor, take your shot first.
accuracy.
What's
7.
Your acting value is 7?
Yes.
Acting is 7. Okay. Roll 7, and I'll tell you what you need to get. You need to get a 13 or better.
19.
So you get 2 column shifts in your favor. 2 column shifts. And what's the attack?
How far away is it because of the diminishing? I don't know how.
The diminishing, you're well within range. There's going to be no modifiers. I need to see a lot more range there.
I'm real close. Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, it's 8 to the spirit, though, not the body.
You said 8, and it's going to the spirit?
Yes. 8 versus
8 versus that plus 2 column shifts.
With the spirit in the sky. Oh.
Yep. Total value. What's the total value of the power? Because you get all of it.
8.
8, and this will knock someone unconscious. It's not killing damage.
Yes.
Okay. Eclipse goes down. And if Chrome is not going to do anything now, next up is the
Hang on.
the remaining squads of soldiers with their
So I don't get to do anything?
urging.
Yeah, what?
No, you do. Go ahead. Sorry. Well, there's nothing to do because the professor already dropped them, but I guess you can do whatever you want. But no, you took the comm shift, so call it a win, guys. Simultaneous attack. How's that? But
My
then
only thought is,
out of this general. I think Oaken's dead anyway. Not an American citizen.
my thought would be. Sorry, I was going to say my thought would be figuring out what Oaken did because of recovery potentially. If we can't apprehend him right away or whatever, he might wake up. So he'd have to heal the body, right? I don't know, Oaken, what your power does
I'm going to the professor.
against.
Well, if he doesn't
I'm saying
have any...
we didn't figure out Oaken's attack, but there may be a reason to do that because if he wakes up from the spirit damage, he may have to deal with body damage or mind damage or whatever that Oaken did to him, right?
Got it.
But it's still with going down to 0. He's technically going to be out for an hour.
Oh, okay. Well, then
mechanically.
I guess it doesn't matter then.
Unless he's got some power that's going to revive him. Or
well, I can do the mind probe on.
So perfect. So Jay, I can't speak, obviously. I do have the mental power radio communication. I wanted to call Oaken and ask him to mind probe the general.
The ghost has a cell phone?
I gave the ghost a cell phone.
Did you put it in a Big Mac with a Big Mac?
It was when I opened up the Happy Meal, the cell phone was in there.
Okay. What's your intelligence?
5. My mind probe has a power of 8.
Okay, you roll a 13 or better, and you can answer the phone if you'd like. Otherwise, you're not really sure what it's doing, and you're ignoring it.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't just randomly pick up a phone call in the middle of this battle. So that's a good idea. You got to roll a check to see if.
Right, where's Metal? Isn't Metal standing right beside me?
No, she went flying across the. She went 40.
And she's currently paralyzed, which is why she's trying to call you.
And on the phone.
But you don't know that.
Typical. Always on the darn phone.
So here's the problem, guys. And Oaken, you're not going to like this. Oaken and Professor made a team attack. The fact that Oaken does not have to roll for that team attack because the Professor takes him out does not mean that Oaken did not make a team attack. Your action is done for the turn. The only people left is either Chrome or the military folks. And the military folks are going to start unloading on you guys with their Start Pulse guns.
Right. So I see that Eclipse went down.
Yes.
And so now my next biggest threat is all of the soldiers, and I'm worried about, like, well, the Professor can't die, so I guess I'm not worried about him. And Metal's not in the picture, and Oaken's already dead. So
yeah, there you go.
So all right, I'm just gonna start picking up some speed and
why don't I get to perform an attack?
Because you made a team attack. Because you made a team attack against Eclipse.
You did attack. It just didn't matter what your results were because Professor did enough to drop Eclipse. But you both
just kicked his body lying there on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
I can still.
No, you can't. Your action this turn was attacking Eclipse. The Professor's action was attacking Eclipse. You guys both did a team attack to get a column shift in your favor, so your attack was even more advantageous because you're both attacking at the same time. And as a result,
So what was my attack I performed?
Well, you were doing a team attack, so it's got to be one of your offensive powers, whatever it is. I
Mind
don't care
probe.
what. It's not an
Mind probe.
offensive.
That's not an attack.
No, it's your sonic attack. That's all. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's.
I guess, Brian. No, it's for sure. It's coming around. This is Brian. Brian was one of the players when this game was being run with Champions about 3 years ago. His comments, Pawnsville's still in play after all these years. I was letting Brian know that, thanks, Brian, for the comment, that it's not only back in play, but this is kind of, and no one knows what's going on here, but kind of a reckoning.
So anyway, I was just going to say that's one of the reasons why I thought letting Oaken roll his attack, because that would at least make it clear that he did what he did. But it wasn't needed. But yeah. So anyway, now that I've seen Eclipse go down, my next biggest concern is the soldiers. So if they're lining up, I want to do basically a skate by and go by and try and do a disarm. Knock the guns out of their hands as I go by really fast.
Okay, you are attacking 3 separate groups of 5.
Well, I don't think I can take that many and be able to do anything. So I'll pick one of the groups of 5.
Okay, fair enough. And they're not like lined up. They're are in an arc. Just give yourself, they're like in a 3-point arc.
Okay.
Equally spread out.
Any group that I can get by where I can kind of go by and just hit their guns as I go past.
Okay, the ones to your right are the closest to you, and you're attacking 5 of them. So their opposing value is a +3. And
Darn, I guess I should have only gone for 4 of them.
well, I kind of got them grouped in squads of 5, so yeah. I'm kind of going to push it that way. And I got to go. I got to go find something. I'll be right back, gentlemen. Sorry about that. That's all my stats for everything today.
Well, in that case, I'm running to the little boy's room. I'll be right back. I'll be fast.
So, Chrome, you're Craft Burn, aren't you?
I'm sorry, what?
Craft Burn, is that your...
Craft and Burn.
Craft and Burn. Got
like
it.
Crash and Burn, but Craft and Burn.
I found what I was looking for, but I'm still going to go take a biological break.
We all have 3 names. It gets a little confusing for me sometimes. Yep. I threw this kind of other wealth idea we use for my house rules up on the page if you wanted to look at it, but...
yeah, I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. Been busy today, but I saw that you put it there.
Oh, yeah. No, I understand you got a real life, and it's not all about the game. But if we wanted to use that for the other one, it'd be no big deal. And individual wealth numbers get really cumbersome for supers, you know?
Yeah. Well, my guy's generally going to be like college professor level income, so not huge, but I was having trouble figuring out what that point would be, because I think as I looked at it, I'm like, okay, 5 is like, $40,000 a year. I'm like, holy crap.
So that scale was originally done with the version 1s in 1983.
Yeah. Which
I'm like, oh yeah, it desperately needs to be updated.
Just goes to show how bad inflation has been.
No joke. The version 2, that was what they did in version 1, 3, and BOH. In between, they went away from that, and there was like rankings of it of what? Struggling, comfortable, affluent, multimillionaire, billionaire, and ruling monarch. And you just got, if you took the lowest one, you actually got points back for being broke like Spider-Man all the time, or like Cloak and Dagger all the time.
Yeah.
Although in all the time I've been doing this, I've never seen a game that was either appropriate or people taking ruling monarch.
But I am the Queen of England.
I think I'll do it for my next upgrade.
For all we know, Oaken could be a former queen.
Former.
What are the inheritance rights of ghosts? I don't know if this has been worked out.
Yeah, I'm not sure you got much wealth left over, unless she knows where some stuff is buried and dig it up.
Now, well,
Artifacts.
McDonald's asked me to be their spokesperson, so I got something in the works.
Da,
The advertising campaign coming up. So
The good news.
Nothing's finalized yet, but we've been talking.
The good news, Chrome, is with these group of 5 soldiers in groups of squads of 5, I'm using the mass combat rules. So I don't have to make the column adjustments for a multi-attack. It's all figured in.
Okay.
So what's your power? Because at the end of the day, you're going against an offensive value of 11.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's just going to be my dex, and then I've got martial arts to affect the AV, but...
Okay. What's your dex?
No, wait. So, yeah, my dex is 9.
Okay. As it stands, to hit them all, you need a 13 or better. I think that's what I said before, anyways.
Just a 10.
Just a 10.
So
Okay.
That was a warning shot across their bow.
Yeah. And they scatter, pulling back. And the general says to pour it on them. So there's what? There's 3 of you standing, and there's 3 squads of 5.
So, Jay, here's an interesting question.
Yeah.
My dex is reduced to 0, and I'm going to have a bad time recovering from this because it uses strength, which is my lowest attribute.
Mm-hmm.
Does this mean I could fight with a dex of 0 using my powers? It would give me a much lower base initiative, but could I act even paralyzed?
You're going to force me to read paralyzed, aren't you?
Well, my strength is reduced to 0. It doesn't mean I don't have magnetic control.
I know it technically doesn't.
Now he just likes watching you stand up and walk around.
Yeah, right. With my broken leg.
We have the
Get
cutest
that
little
book on the
hobble,
other
Jay.
side of the room.
This power allows the character to physically restrict an opponent. So if you're using any of your physical abilities to do something, no. You're using anything on strength, dexterity, and body. You're using mental power. I have no problem with that.
Okay.
I might. I'll give you a -2. What?
Well, the dex of 0 is definitely going to hit your initiative score, though. That's
right,
for
right.
sure.
That's what strikes me, is I'll have a much lower initiative with a dex of 0.
That's true. That's true. So I should get off a shot of the soldiers before you can do something terrible metal. Oaken, what's your dexterity?
8.
8. Okay, you're being attacked by 5 soldiers with their Star Pulse guns on automatic.
They have an automatic setting? Holy
Yes,
cow.
they do. Yep.
Doesn't come up often, but does happen.
Is this the same round of combat?
Yeah, all the soldiers went last.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
So, okay.
I can't dodge. I probably shouldn't have fired on this person.
Well, it was pretty effective.
I know, but now I'm about to die.
Or in Pokemon terms, it was super effective.
I'm still worried about the feral chick that clawed me to death. Where is she?
I knocked her into next week, dude.
Oaken, what's your defense? Probably your body. Well, we got, what do we got? Well, your body is probably going to be here.
My defense, I have a dispersal 9.
Okay. That will help. We'll do that.
Yeah, Professor, if you remember, I think I rolled like a 27 or something and knocked her into next week.
Well, if it's not literally next week, I'm still concerned with where her body is.
Needless to say, you take 9 points of damage across the board, body, mind, and spirit, because it has a mental blast, a physical blast, and is that just it? Is it just mind? Nothing on the spirit, yeah.
Yeah, there's no spirit side, right?
Yeah. So you're knocked unconscious with the Star Pulse guns vibrancies. It's just like you're getting saturated. It's just soaking of pulse rate gun rays at you, and just sent you to the ground. Professor, what's your opposing value?
Dexterity for being shot from a gun?
Yeah.
4.
Technically automatic fire. All this stuff is non-lethal, by the way. None of this is lethal.
Oh, thank God. 4.
Your dex is 4?
Yeah.
And you're getting shot at.
I can't dodge because I fired this turn.
Yeah. Okay. You are probably going to get hit.
Double ones. Double ones.
Yeah. You take how much do you take across the board? Or at least your mental.
You muted yourself.
You muted yourself.
Try that again.
How do I do that? I'm not even touching it.
Is it the space bar maybe that might mute it?
Yeah.
Mute yourself.
You muted yourself.
Not the space bar. It's something.
Okay. Your body took 7, and your mind took 5.
But not killing, you said.
Not killing, yeah. So imagine the body took you up. The mind may have not, right?
No, I'm 0 and 0. 2 zeros.
Okay. Chrome, what's your opposing value?
Well, to being shot, I assume it's my dex unless my speed counts in because I was moving at full speed.
What's your full speed?
Well, my full speed's 8, but my dex is 9, so that's higher anyway.
Yeah, so use that. Okay.
And then by chance, is this are these beams light energy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
They affect the optic nerve. They're the Star Pulse gun. Absolutely are light.
Yep.
Awesome, because I have energy absorption.
Sweet.
That I've never used, but now I finally get to.
Okay. They get a 9, need to get a 9 or better to tag you.
Okay.
So they get an 11, so they hit you with 1 column shift. What's your resistance value?
So, against the physical portion of this, it would be my body and my skin armor together, right? So that would be 18. Right. But my energy absorption versus light is 7.
So your energy absorption isn't an RV. It just takes damage. Whatever your resistance is what it is. And as long as you take 7 points or less of damage, you take no damage.
Okay. Yeah, I've never used the power, so I wasn't exactly sure.
All good.
Because the light just bounces off my shiny metal skin.
Okay, what's your resistance value? Time for the find out the damage.
Okay, so you said it's physical, or I guess I'm not sure.
So it does it does. It's 3 attacks, two against the mental, and 1 against physical.
Okay.
Or
Well,
2 against your intelligence and 1 against your dexterity or whatever your physical, which is your speed. Or, yeah, your dex. Does that make sense?
okay. Well, my speed is definitely higher than my intelligence, so I would want to use that. But my dex is 9. I'll just give you all the info and you tell me what it is. My dex is 9. My intelligence is 2, but I was moving at 8. But you said they already hit me, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to just figure out how much damage it is,
Right.
and I'm seeing 7 across the board.
So then my resistance value physical is skin armor of 10, body of 8, so that'd be 18, and energy absorption against the energy part of this is 7.
Yep.
So what is your mind?
My mind is 3.
So, Jay, the part that couldn't be absorbed by the energy absorption, he would take against his mind of 3. He would take no physical damage, but the optic nerve thing, he would be effectively paralyzed by it.
But I thought he
That's what
said it
happened
was
to Bug
only
in the
7.
building.
I thought he said it did 7, and I've got 7 energy absorption.
That's. Yeah, I'm
Actually,
trying to
Jay, he just took it and he's going to laugh it. Well, he's not going to laugh it off. He just took it and shined all the light away from him.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. That the Star Pulse guns, you've got a way to somehow possibly get some good tactics against Star Pulse guns, because it's another round of initiative.
I can also double as a disco ball if we really need to.
So who do we got up? We got the general.
2 disco balls.
We got the soldiers. We have Chrome, Prof, and Oaken. Oaken and Prof, you're both down.
He sleeps with one eye open.
Okay, the soldiers' initiative is 15.
Say, unfortunately, it's his left eye.
Yeah. I can't see, goddammit.
So Chrome, yeah, they got a
My
15.
initiative is 23 based on the fact I can't move physically.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
So Metal is paralyzed and still goes before me. I got an 18. Hey, I'll take it. If I only roll the ones on the initiative, that's better.
Okay, Metal. What are you going to attempt to do? And I may give some column shifts against you because they can't because you're paralyzed, so you can't move around. So you just can see where you happen to be looking at the time. But then again, you have sonar, don't you?
Yep.
So I'm not going to worry about that. We'll just go with straight. No, I won't throw in any modifiers for the fact you're paralyzed.
Does she sound like a dolphin or a submarine?
Okay, so it's a magnetic pulse, actually. Sonar is the closest power to model it. So, Jay, I've fought Star Pulse guns before. We've analyzed them. I know they affect the optic nerve, which is where the mental effect comes from. I am going to build myself an exoskeleton with no faceplate. I'm going to see right with my sonar, and I am essentially building myself a mecha, which I'm surrounding myself with.
Oh, you're going to try to use that as so you can move around?
Yes, and I'm coming right at them.
Okay, I'm going to say this is a pretty novel thing, so your whole action this turn is putting this together. You will not get to make an attack.
Finding all the scrap metal you need to build this thing.
I'll pull a piece here,
I'll pull a piece there.
Yep. So.
Mind if I borrow the door off that APC?
Yeah.
It's like when Iron Man took out the Hulk suit, you know?
Yeah. So Chrome, what would you like to do? It's you against 3 squads of American soldiers armed with star
Oh,
posts.
jeez.
Run away, flee,
Yeah,
flee.
I was actually, I'm like looking around and I'm thinking, well, 3 of the 4 of us are kind of out of commission right now, at least best as I can tell. So I'm a little frustrated, so I think it's time to go bowling for soldiers. I'm plowing right into one of the groups of 5, full speed.
Okay.
And I want to do a knockback attack.
Okay, so what does that give you for an acting value?
So for my acting value would be my dex of 9.
Okay, you need to get a 13 or better. And you can spend hero points if you want.
I've wanted to do this battle mech trick since I first thought of this character.
Double 9s. Woohoo!
18.
Holy crap. And then 14. So
32?
yeah. So 32.
Yeah, that squad of 5 soldiers is definitely a comic book panel of you going through them and them all going like a Jack Kirby thing, right?
Yeah. I'm just like, yeah. And there's this brief moment where I pause in mid stride.
Yeah.
And there's just bodies going everywhere.
Yeah. Okay, so
bowling pins.
that
Strike.
means a couple of attacks against you at what's your opposing value, Chrome?
Mine it'd be 9.
9.
Yeah.
Okay. $18 double 9s.
Woo! Ouch. Turnabout's fair play, I guess.
18 plus 5.
Oh, I definitely got. I'm glad they didn't get as good a second roll.
Can you spend hero points to keep from getting knocked unconscious?
He can.
But
I
only
don't know if I need him yet.
Yeah, last ditch. Yep.
Well, I should have done that last time.
You're muted, Professor.
Okay, I got the effect value. What's your resistance value going to be?
Okay, again, for the physical, it'd be 18, but for the energy part, it'd be 7. Or does that add to my mind? The absorption, or just the absorption doesn't work if it's more than 7?
I think you go with the absorption first, and if it's overblown, it's like nothing was there. But
yeah.
Someone
so
can
if it's
check
more than
me on
7,
that.
then the energy absorption doesn't help.
Okay. So did you say your resistance to physical is 18? Did you say?
18, yeah.
Nice.
What
The two column shifts they get, that's 5 points of body damage.
Okay.
And then it's and now with the mental stuff, what do they got to go against?
Well, so did they? I don't know. I've got energy absorption 7 and a mind of 3, so I'm not sure how that all works.
Okay.
So unless they gain, because it's a physical attack that does mental damage, the Star Pulse guns are from my game. Your energy absorption with an RV that high makes it almost impossible for them to affect you. The fact that your mind is that low almost doesn't matter. Your energy absorption will eat that.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
I'm not sure how all that works.
A character with energy absorption power must come into contact with the attack for the power to function, at which point the character's attribute points of energy absorption are subtracted from the result action points of the attack.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to be taking, you said 8?
7.
7. Okay, whatever I come up with, I'm going to have 7. And what I'm putting in that is going against your mind. What's your mind?
3.
3. Yeah. Okay. And that's 11 points minus your absorption, so that's 4 to the mind. You're still overwhelmed. Your synapses are overloaded.
Okay, now, is this the point where I can spend?
For last ditch.
Yes, it is.
Okay, now how do I do last ditch? I'm not needed to do that.
Which characteristic?
Mind.
What is your total mind?
You can spend up to 6 hero points to absorb 6 points of mind damage in what's called last ditch defense.
Only up to his mind, though.
No, you can
What was
do
your mind? Your mind is 3, right?
Yes.
You can only spend 3. So
that reduces it, right? How much did I say you took?
6.
7? 6?
So 3 would just make it still 0. So the effect would be so save the points.
Yeah, yeah. You can't with last ditch defense. You can't.
All right, I'm not sure at this point how many you said that I take. I thought you said 6, but I don't know if I was correct. There's a lot of numbers been thrown around here just recently. So.
Yes, there has.
You took 6, but your mind is 3. It's not killing, so you're at 0, right? If you take the 6.
The question is, did I take 6? That's not for sure. I said that's what I remembered him saying, but I don't know if I'm correct, and I said that. So that's why I wanted to check.
The total was 6, Jay, right?
Yes. You take the full 6 points of damage, and you can mitigate that.
Since your mind is 3, the most points you can spend on last ditch defense is 3, which would reduce the damage to 3, which would still knock you to 0, so it would be the exact same effect.
Right.
So there's no reason to spend the points because it would just be a waste.
I'm with the professor.
It's the same whether you take 3 or 6.
Okay.
Okay, Metal, you want to roll for initiative?
Yes.
Because you just saw this Star Pulse. Well, now you seeking what a mass Star Pulse guns can do to enhance entities.
Yeah. Did you use my defensive power last time?
Yeah, you guys got fucking whacked.
Even with my defensive power, they still.
Yeah. It was the automatic spray fire.
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
How many troops on the field?
Again.
There are 10, 2 groups of 5.
Including the general, including hangers-on, sociopaths, aides de camp. How many total?
Well, they're in 2 separate groups of 5, and the general is in one of them.
Okay. I am going to use my decidedly large exoskeleton, and I'm going to sweep attack all of them. Give me a second. I'll figure out how many points I'm spending.
They come with like radiators and hubcaps and chain link fence.
Yeah, I've made a suit of all this crazy crap.
You're a walking recycle yard.
I was kind of hoping for a little more Tony Stark. Did I get walking junkyard?
You have to work on that.
Yeah, I think given the need for speed of putting this thing together, you probably got walking junkyard.
Look, yeah.
You probably pulled some armor plating off the APCs and stuff, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Got a turret for a head.
Jay, let me know when you have focus.
Oh, I'm ready. I got my number. I got their opposing value column.
I am spending 4 points going to the 16-18 range.
Okay, you need, and this is just one group, right?
No, this is everybody.
Oh, everybody. Well, then I got to refigure this. Because I'm doing, I'm using mass combat rules.
Sure.
So I got to redo this whole thing.
So do it against 10, because it's 10 people.
Yeah,
left.
yeah, that's what I got to do. But I got to look at the rule to crunch the numbers.
Now, I was wondering why he didn't put out any experience points for the last fight, because this is all one continuous fight.
Okay.
I will say it is fun hitting some of those higher numbers. As long as I've been playing this game, I very, very rarely have hit the 1618 or the 1921 band.
Okay, I got the resistance value.
I managed it twice, but then now the bad guys just managed it once on me too. So my net positive is 1, but
Okay, now I just need your acting value. No column shifts, no hinky jinkies, nothing. Just your straight, whatever the attack is, what value row you're on.
So my acting value is 1618.
Yeah. Okay.
16.
Okay, you need a 4 or better.
God. Double threes. And a 15, total of 21.
Okay, that's 5 column shifts. That will be important. 5 column shifts. Okay, the 10 of them together, they got a big resistance value. What's your, and you got, what did I say, 5 column shifts? What's your effect value?
18, this was my ultimate attack.
Ultimate.
Okay, they take 9 points of damage across the board. They're all taken out. And controlling the general, everybody's down. Metal is the only one standing, using the metal contraption that she's wrapped herself in, the only ability to move. And you can hear, off in the distance, you can hear the sound of, like, not 1, not 2, not 3, but probably a lot of helicopters. You just can't see them because of the mountainous terrain around here.
I grabbed not only the team, I grabbed the general.
Okay.
And we're getting out.
And where are you going?
FBEE headquarters.
your favorite place.
I hate that guy.
Okay. You're going to the FBE headquarters. Yeah, Bisbee Sharp's there, drinking a lot of coffee, tie undone, frantic.
Do I eventually become unparalyzed?
Yeah, at some point, right?
Okay.
It's going to be an hour.
Yeah.
After an hour. After an hour, everyone's pretty much revived.
No, it's the paralyzed. You can roll to
break out.
Free.
Okay, so eventually you'll break out.
The very next turn, you could have rolled to free yourself, if I remember correctly.
Sure,
Yeah,
but it's
correct.
strength, my very lowest attribute, which is 3.
But eventually,
Yep. So, and I'm going to deliver the general to Bisbee's office and let all his agents, the guys that, the professor and Chrome and these guys who are on the right side of the law, talk about the general breaking the law really, really blatantly. And hopefully while this is going on, I want to slip away.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to slip away because Bisbee Sharp is going to attack you, obviously. First off is he says he wishes you had dropped him in the river. Because look, General Strauss is pretty influential. He'd probably be walking the streets by tomorrow.
Wait a minute, one of the head guys at the FBEE just sanctioned murder.
So look, it's not too
Of a
late. I
US
can still
general.
drop him in the river. This is not too
Yeah,
late.
so something obviously is really concerned Bisbee Sharp about Ponsville and this general. Yes.
I have a headache. But,
Bisbee Sharp has got a headache.
I check my phone and see if the reporter guy's still on my phone. Did you get all that? Remember, I called him and,
Yeah.
he was hearing all that interaction and everything going on.
Yeah, I got everything that's going on. But I'm not sure who to write up as the good guy here.
Chrome, obviously.
Yeah. He attacked us for standing outside a military base on the basis of a law that isn't a law yet.
You're right. This is great stuff. I'm going to run with it. Look towards tonight's edition. Live action news.
So I sent him the pictures. If you recall last episode, I said we were taking.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah, Bisbee Sharp trying to figure game out what's our next step. So it sounds like the general has sent trucks all over the place with Star Pulse guns for talking to whatever, some select group of people, probably soldiers, right?
Well, let's find out.
Around the country so that when they roll out their new extreme enhanced registration act where there's forced registration, they're in position to any EEs that don't comply around the country to move against them in like strike teams. That's the situation. And he's doing it with these Star Pulse guns that it seems the guts of them, the technology to make them, and the energy source are extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
And
I figured that one.
it seems to be getting all this from the Congress of Truth after they restarted the Ponsville program, snuck in there and started fucking around again with the federal program that was closed down.
I can't imagine this is going to play well in the press.
The generals, well, this is what you know. What people will believe is a completely different thing. I'm just giving you the straight skinny because I got to unroll this thing. So, yeah.
So, Bisbee, I hate you. You hate me. Can you get Daniel Petty's story on CNN and the cover of the New York Times? If this scumbubble thinks he's going to get a media march on us, let's change it. And you can hate me tomorrow.
Yeah, well, we got to get the media on our side. Do we know they're on our side?
We've got some friends.
Wasn't that Daniel Petty that I just got off the phone with?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. He's going to be running with it tonight. He heard the whole thing. I had him on my phone when the general was bragging about how he was going to round up all the EEs.
Well, yeah. I can get you some more information for your story.
Absolutely.
Oh, you want to do a mind probe on the general?
From the general's mind.
Hell yes.
And when they're done, then I want to tell the FEE to do an anal probe on him too, just to be sure, you know.
Well, doing a mind probe on the general, here's what you get.
Well, let me wait before you tell me that, okay? Because I got a working theory here. In general, you give me the the general what's in his mind. But what I'm looking for is, I think the power of the Star Pulse rifles comes from a remote location through that giant radio tower up to the aliens in outer space, and that's where the power source comes from. And it's distributed to the rifles. There's some connection to their power source and that radio tower to the aliens in orbit.
Yeah, I can. I need to color that a little bit, but not bad. Not bad. Pretty damn close.
It works on some sort of electricity.
Thank you, Captain Rogers.
The general has been in close cooperation for many years now with what you had Dr. Good, Administrator Salt, Director Grace, the third person in the Congress of Truth hierarchy, and the Director Grace is assuring the general that with this technology and the experiments they're completing at their lunar base near the Enteron Energy Gate is going to provide the loyal enhanced entity soldiers that he needs, as well as the regular military having the equipment to confront any enhanced entity and potentially have a chance of taking them down.
Where's the weak point in the radio tower? How to destroy it? So you got the plans to the Death Star in his head?
Nice.
And that discussion is the general and Director Grace have that discussion. And Director Grace says it doesn't matter. It's almost it's almost sucked up enough energy. We don't even need it for very much longer. And
we got to disconnect the batteries as well. So the power's being stored somewhere. Got these little storage things around the base of the tower.
So I think we should be more concerned about the space station where they've got what did he call the thing, Jay?
The Enteron Energy Gate?
Yeah.
Ooh, now you're talking.
And he's been in talk with, also in the conversations that Oaken's seeing, is Meteoron, the guy with the magnificent mind.
Tried really hard to kill him too.
I thought that was the professor.
Well, the professor has someone running, giving a good run for his money. It's called Meteoron, who was, I forget his, Dr. McKeever, formerly Dr. McKeever, and the Enteron energy experiments that he did on himself gave him a big, like, Modak head. Have you seen pictures of him? They're the ones with the psychedelic big brain head.
Yeah, somebody beat the shit out of him with an energy core a while back. I didn't know what happened to him.
Yeah, Super Frog kicked the shit out of him too.
Nice.
One day.
See if we can call him back.
But yeah. So the general is working with the Congress of Truth to have the muscle he needs to unroll his, internment policy nationwide.
His internment army against mutants.
Now, how are you going to combat that with what the media is going to have is they've got footage of you attacking an army base, and then there's a large army response. And then I can
I have a
see
plan for
is
that.
that the news is going to be all you guys' faces are going to be on the nightly news, and the Army and any local law enforcement is going to be coming for you, and the only protection you would have is Bisbee Sharp, and he says the only way he could give you, immunity at least from what's coming down against you is to register you as FBEE agents in essence.
If there's a video of me disintegrating the perimeter fence on a military base, it's obviously a deep fake.
What do I need to roll to remember Korematsu?
What's Korematsu? What's Korematsu?
That was the Supreme Court decision that outlawed the internment of individuals in the United States.
Oh, nice.
You're going against, let's say that's difficult. Your intelligence is going against an opposing value of 4.
He's a hockey major. He doesn't know.
I know.
Hit the
2
head a lot.
versus 4.
Yeah, if you get 11 or better, you'll know it.
17. Woohoo!
17. Yep.
I was actually awake that day in class.
Yep. Well, yes, correct. And normally that would be hard to roll out, but the general is going to use your attack on the Pawnsville. Bisbee Sharp, made a misstep because he didn't really know what was going on there. They're going to just use that as justification.
So, Jay?
Yeah.
I have something I can do about this. It's going to require some time, and I need to get out of this meeting. I'm like, guys, take care of this. And I'm going to take flight on the city, and I'm going to use my radio communications. I'm going to hit every frequency, every tower, show the pictures, and I'm going to go full John Connor. If you can hear the sound of my voice, you are the resistance. This is a military takeover. Maybe they're not your arm they want to print a number on today, but is it going to be you tomorrow? Going to do a full charisma attack across all the radio frequencies, and I'm going to jump a march on the government. That this is a military coup. If you're not afraid, you should be. If you don't know whether you're going to be interred, you probably will be. If you're not afraid, you should be now.
Okay. I don't know how that's going to play out.
Yep.
But I've duly noted.
Yep.
Hey, I'm convinced already. Great speech.
Okay, your side.
That was convincing to me.
Yeah, as he's sitting eating the Big Mac in the conference room. I need to write a few things down here.
Yeah,
If you guys want to hook up with Bisbee Sharp, it's all good with me, but I got places to be.
So Metal's going to go and do that. What are you guys going to do?
I think I need a lawyer.
I think you do.
You probably need a lawyer. The FBEE's got some great attorneys on staff. So it won't cost you a dime.
They've done a bang-up job so far.
But, yeah, Bisbee Sharp is stressing that the only way that he thinks he can keep you guys from being arrested or detained or having the heavy arm of the Army come down on you is have you registered and active agents for the FBEE.
I already did.
Well, I'm going to disperse and pick up my Big Mac and set it directly in my stomach and then re-solidify because I don't have time to chew.
Gotcha.
And then I'm going to sit down and fill out my FBE membership form.
See, this is the problem I have here is that we wouldn't have been in this mess except we were doing FBEE business out there.
He goes, I thought you got the fact that I can't, my hands are tied. I want you guys to go in there and fix this and solve it. I thought that was a little, wink, wink.
I want
yada, yada.
I wear the badge.
Now we don't, so that's my misstep. I didn't know what was going on up there. I was really nervous. It looks like they're really close to fruition, and Bisbee Sharp thinks that he made a mistake, but this is the only way to protect you and keep you on his team and not anyone else's.
What does FBE stand for?
Federal Bureau of Enhanced Entities. They are in charge of administrating the Enhanced Entity Registration Act, which is up to this point has been voluntary.
Yeah, sounds like we're about to be voluntold.
Yeah. So.
Well, I'm already halfway through the form, guys. So.
Professor, you're already on board.
Are you even a U.S. national, Logan?
No, I'm from Denmark.
That's what I'm saying.
Technically, as an enhanced entity on American soil, he comes under FBEE jurisdiction. Whatever he is, whoever he is.
I speak with a German accent. And I have ways of making you talk.
Professor, you're already in the tribe.
I've given you all of my information, and I am in the system. And if they drag me into hearings, I was just following your direct orders, and you're going down with me.
Okay. Bisbee Sharp asks if you can get to work on something that will work against these Star Pulse guns to protect the EEs.
It's my opinion, if we destroy their energy source, all of them in the world will go dead and be useless.
Where is this energy source?
Let's start with the tower.
The gateway, the Energon gateway?
Yep. The tower, the gateway, connected to the tower.
Yeah, from your extensive mind probe of the General's mind, you know that to be on the dark side of the moon.
We saw it once. We can get there if we have to. Hey guys, how do you feel about a trip to the dark side of the moon? It's not an easy trip, but we can do it.
The Congress
of Truth is operating.
The Congress of Truth is operating out of the base on the dark side of the moon.
If you destroy the tower, will it at least shut it down temporarily?
Assuming they don't have other towers built somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's Zokin's operating theory. I mean, it's a pretty good one. But that's why I stressed also that the general, being a strategic and tactical-minded individual, had conversations about things like this, and that they had collected and directed all the Enteron energy that they needed, pretty much.
Right.
It didn't matter because the plans are in motion.
As a general rule, I like to take my guidance on technology and things like that from 2,000-year-old Danish ghosts. So, I'm assuming the theory is perfect. But no,
when I'm at work, I trace the circuits. I start where the problem is, and then I go down the line and look for the source.
Well, that's right. You're a QA guy, aren't you?
There are different points in this circuit to make everything work. If you break that circuit somewhere, nothing works.
I'm wrestling with my only question is if I do join up with the FBEE, do I still retain all my merchandising rights?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 This is all about keeping you out of jail.
Well, that's always a good thing, but.
End of story. But yeah, merchandising rights and all that.
My form is done. Can I get the rubber stamp on this, please?
Yep.
Hand me my badge and my little communicator gadget thing.
It's a cell phone.
Okay.
Just starting to figure out how to use those things, maybe. But yeah, so he's like, okay, you can take a seat. We'll get you on assignment pretty soon.
All right. And my other question is, can I survive in space without a spacesuit?
Not for long.
Unless
Not
you
for
took
long.
life
Well,
support.
You would have to maintain dispersal on.
Right.
Yeah. Right. You can just keep his dispersal on.
That would be my thought. Yes.
But if it goes off for any reason and you're in the
Like
vacuum
if you
of space,
fall asleep,
you're going to be a Danish space ghost popsicle.
Yeah.
Whatever life energy spark is in you is going to be.
Right.
Squeak!
Yeah,
So
kind
yeah,
of like when Princess Leia got thrown out in outer space, she was able to survive
Yeah,
long
exactly.
enough to be rescued.
Yeah, exactly.
So I got
He came
backup.
riding in on that octopus from Cybertron. Yeah.
I can go maybe 4 hours in space without needing some variety of a spacesuit or a module or something.
Mm-hmm.
And we've made them up before.
So I guess as long as I'm not being attacked, I can move through space, no problem.
Yeah, because the last vehicle that they
high.
had to go up into space has been taken over by the Congress of Truth. They took it from you guys.
So I could like leave the Quinjet, go through space, enter another vehicle, and that'd be cool.
Well, we don't have a Quinjet yet. Bisbee Sharp's gonna have to work out, unless you guys come up with a way to get to the moon. He's gonna have to come up in vehicle requisition or apply.
Yeah, Mr. Sharp, I need to sign up for pilot training as well, by the way.
Oh, you're a soldier. You're a hired gun.
Just he's suspicious if he says taking off only. He doesn't need to know how to land.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, good. Going right for the 9/11 jokes.
I want to see if I can get an agreement with Bisbee Sharp for temporary deputization. Like I'm not planning to make this a career, but I'll work for a while.
He doesn't think temporary deputization is going to have the gravitas it's going to need.
Okay, well, it's still a job I can quit whenever I want, right?
Yes, it is.
Turn in your badge and your cell phone.
You can walk out that door and take your chances.
All right, well, I'll sign up.
Okay.
Agent Sharp, did you want me in the government lab working on something to counter these guns, or do you want me on this space mission? What are you telling me to do?
Both.
So I have
how quickly can you get me something? You can go down into I told you, you can use the small basketball court down in the basement. No one's using it.
That doesn't sound like a very effective lab.
You tell me what you need. We'll get it all set up. I can get you working on there. And as soon as you can come up with it as well. But yeah, we got to get, let's think about it. How soon do we need to get up to the moon?
I'm thinking we might be able to hold off this military coup a couple of days a week because we're sneaking a march on them and because we took the general out of play. But I think we have to get up there very damn fast.
Yeah, like tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what he's afraid of.
I can assist the professor in his lab.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Bisbee Sharp says, no, I don't think I'm going to use the ghost in the lab. But he also says, Professor, I don't think I got time for you to research this stuff unless you're as smart as they say you are. And you can figure this on the road.
So here's a thought for you. Anything that is a pressure vessel, I could do this with a submarine. I could do this with a number of military ships. Anything that is a pressurized vessel, I could do this with certain aircraft that only need to be lightly modified. Mm-hmm. And I could fly as far as that.
He likes the submarine idea. I really like that submarine idea.
Star Pulse guns rely on visible light, and I don't intend to be using any.
Well, it doesn't sound like they'll be effective like the Professor's gun unlike the Professor's gun. It doesn't sound like the Star Pulse guns have any effect on physical objects.
Correct. It'll knock them over, and that's about it.
Do you have an extra star pulse gun that I can do an experiment on? I mean, I don't want to bust up.
Bisbee Sharp has gotten some star pulse guns, both from the street and Ponsville, that Metal collected about a month ago.
Yeah, I don't want one of these janky ones from the street. I need an official, good, high quality one that the military is going to be using.
The general was carrying one.
That's gonna help your research, obviously.
Does he have it right there?
Yes. Yeah.
I immediately shoot one. I just wanted to make sure see what happens.
Yeah. You almost blind everyone in the room. You know, Chet Atkins, the helicopter pilot, he's blinded. Damn.
I mean, disintegrate it. Make sure it is just normal matter. It is just all going to go away, or if anything's left over.
What are you doing discharging this firearms in the building?
It's magical, and we all blow up and die.
I disbelieve that.
So it's non-lethal pacification weapon. Yeah, the public's going to like that. Public's really going to like that.
Oh, no, they aren't.
Because, well, if you're not an EE, but you don't think being an EE deserves to be killed, this is kind of that middle ground. They're crafty.
Yeah, so if I run around just shooting people with a taser, you know, everybody's okay with that.
Well, you're technically they're rounding up lawbreakers that are resisting.
Yeah, but we're going to fly in the submarine to the moon. That is so cool.
But yeah, that would get you there safely. The submarine has all the life systems you need, life support systems you need.
Can you lift an entire submarine into space? Metal?
I'm checking.
Yeah, let's check. Yeah, I guess we got to figure that out.
60 tons is my limit.
No, that
we're not even in the
way more than that.
Oh, we're not. A submarine's a lot heavier than that.
Well, some submarines are bigger than others.
No, we don't need Metal's power. She's not all that.
Wait. There are some subs are bigger than others. No, I can't take a nuclear sub, but let me look.
And some subs' mothers are bigger than other subs' mothers.
Yeah. Then we'll take the Hunley.
Yeah. So you need a small, like, submersible.
I'm checking.
A smaller one. So that seems like, and he calls Philip Madher and gets him on that. Looking into that, start pulling some strings, start getting some requisitions going.
A lot of this is a measure of displacement. But okay, anyway, we can find something. Yes, definitely nothing the size of a Los Angeles, because that's 800 tons.
Yeah. So that's out of your league. So we're not in naval aircraft territory yet.
Preferably one that's been, time tested, not anything newfangled like made out of carbon fiber.
He's got one lined up from this. You can get real cheap from this entrepreneur.
The one they did for the Titanic is 21,000 pounds.
Well, sure.
How many tons is that?
Times 2.
10.
Divided by 2,000.
Yeah.
Or divided by 2. Yeah.
Someone did the math for me. I can't do that.
It's 10 tons. I can lift 6 times that.
10 and a half. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we know that. So they can line up something like that.
What did Jacques Cousteau? What they have on Jacques Cousteau? He get one.
The Nautilus or something like that.
Carbon fiber would be a really bad idea.
Leagues under the sea. How about that one? What does NASA have? NASA have any crafts?
Yeah, they're out. They're out. They've been. They've lost a total now of 3 shuttles. One in an explosion. One that they captured, and I think there was another one destroyed at the
Challenger. Challenger blew up on takeoff. The other one blew up coming into the atmosphere.
Yeah. So the Congress of Truth has got. Let's say there was like what am I thinking? There was several NASA vehicles. One was destroyed, and 2 were captured by the Congress of Truth. Yeah, that's all they got. They got 3. So NASA's out.
So I mean, that's
What
fine.
about SpaceX? What's SpaceX got?
Man,
No, we want things that actually
I've seen
launch.
those test flights. I'm not getting on the SpaceX.
Seriously, we don't need something with engines. We need something that's just a containment vessel. I can take maybe 4 hours outside of a pressure suit before it starts to be hard on me, which is going to take us longer than that to get there, right? That's a 3-day trip thereabouts. So if a submarine is fine, I mean, a lot of these ships seal up, a lot of aircraft seal up. We'll let Sharp find his stuff, right? Is that what we do? We have to go into space and find the Congress of Truth?
Yeah.
That portal thing.
Try to stay ahead of this thing. Yeah, Professor, what?
I don't know. My head hurts.
Mine too. Has Bisbee Sharp got any aspirin in this place?
Oh, yeah, he's got plenty.
First aid kit on the wall in the break room.
Yep.
Next to the burgers.
Yeah.
So I'm just.
By the way, somebody tipped the DoorDash guy.
Still a little confused on how you plan on getting there.
So if you have a lifting body that weighs, call it 10 tons, 15 tons, 20 tons, I am just going to get inside of it with the team and fly it there. I'm going to move it with my magnetic powers.
Yep, and so it needs to be pressurized and able to have life support systems for at least minimum 3 days.
Something like that. Now, it says an MD-80 is 25 tons. That is the definition of 10 APs.
How fast does your magnetic control allow you to move something that big?
So once I get out of the atmosphere, I can scream. I can hit 2,500 miles an hour.
Can I push it from outside? Anybody with flight?
I don't want to shock you, but do that math, and we're in for a 6-month trip.
Okay, let's do. If you do the math of it, you don't get limited by a velocity in space. You get limited by an acceleration
and a deceleration, so we don't slam into the moon at ridiculous.
Well, granted, you get limited by the acceleration and deceleration. And I mean,
but that's just a sudden stop at the end.
Yeah, which can be a hassle.
Yeah, because it's not the fall that kills you.
Man, I got Earth to Mars. I don't have Earth to Moon in my AP chart, which is just odd.
239,000 miles.
Okay, so 239,000 miles. I got to look at that in APs.
Divided by 2,500.
Do it in AP math. You're going to like it a lot better. So 28 APs is up to 250,000 miles. This would take us 16 APs of time, the way the game operates.
2 days, 18 hours, and 40 minutes.
And this is game mechanics. I know if we were actually launching a rocket, it would be different.
Okay, so the nearest liquor store is 2 miles away, and it takes me 5 minutes to get there.
Let's just go back to the base and blow everything up.
I think we should blow it up anyways. Before we go.
Yeah, it sounds like there's not much left at the base.
Chrome could get in and out fast if he wanted to and just waste it.
Like they just they're wrapped up on whatever they've been working on for the last 3 months.
Assuming they don't shoot me with those rays again. The first
one. Yeah,
we
gotta go to space. We gotta go to the moon.
The first
other things that Oaken
from migraine.
Oaken, there's some other things from the Mind Probe. What was it that
they got to have a way to get to the moon. Let's steal their stuff.
Yeah, that's right. They have a transmat device, and they were using it below Pondsville, below underneath, and that's how the Congress of Truth was traveling between the moon base and Pondsville.
Beam me up, Scotty.
That's right. They got a transmat. That's the general's got that. Also, you know, the general, though you weren't here, the general was behind in coordination with the mayor to get the civil guard with BAM on the streets. And start working on anti-EE sentiment with the BAM addiction and the fallout of innocent people thinking they have powers and dying.
So I believe this is something that Bisbee Sharp should start prosecuting people on.
And yeah, but he needs hard evidence. This is just coming from Oaken's mind, reading.
Well, sure, but Oaken can tell him where the bodies are buried and where the files are, and I mean, they have the guy.
Yeah, after you and Olympian and Bug were at Pondsville, the general went around and started dynamiting. They didn't know about that entry, and they started closing up holes.
Yeah, so they got a transporter because they've been traveling back and forth to the moon efficiently.
Yep. And so yeah, there's like an elevator or something in the administrative building that takes you down beneath Pondsville into some of the complex that's still accessible.
So the professor can make the transporter work. It's a hell of a lot easier than flying out there in a pressure vessel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with the general knowledge and stuff, and the professors, between what Oaken knows from the general's mind and what the professor knows, you pretty sure probably be able to get it going if it's still there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Once the professor's done researching the Star Pulse rifles, we're going to need him to run the transporter.
Yep.
That's why I like to assist him in the lab, because I can come in handy in different ways, you know. If he needs someone to reach into a radioactive core or something, you know, or some deadly viruses, I can do that for him too, you know.
Yeah, you said the lab was a basketball court. I'm just standing up here talking to you guys.
Yeah, it's like one of those half basketball courts. You know,
it's not even a full basketball court.
No, it's not a full one. It's just a like half one for like an exercise room type of thing. Knockout used to use it and shoot, or Super Frog used to use it to shoot hoops and, you know, kill time.
You got a water fountain in there and stuff like that.
But we can move some computers, some mainframes in there, whatever you need.
Let's do.
So here's the plan. There's the plan is, okay, that work out the defenses. I get that. We know it affects the optic nerve. And if you're not looking at it, that should be a big deal. And if you had a blackface helmet with a camera, that could work.
Yep.
Can we design some blast shield, some headgear with blast shields on them?
Helmet protect against the flash is going to be easy. That's going to be the easiest one to solve.
Well, that's the one that I'm worried about, because otherwise that stuff just tickled.
Some visors. Get some visors. Just like like this. At work, I was welding today, right? My welding hood, you can see through. As soon as the light hits the screen, hits the glass, it darkens before the light hits your eye, right?
Yep.
So we need some welding hood to stop the light of a star pulse. And now protect our eyes, so that'll give us a good defense.
I'm not super excited about covering my eyes and stuff, so I'd rather find a different solution personally.
Well, it's a simple visor, you know, like a Cyclops pair of sunglasses or something. They got the same technology and welding hoods today.
I got sonar.
I'm not going to be wearing any welding hoods either, so.
All right.
So, okay.
I want one.
So our objectives here are to figure out a defense against the Star Pulse guns, to see if we can get that transporter to work, and if we can't, we go up the hard way.
We'll get it working.
Jay?
Let's make some visors. Let's make some visors to protect our eyes. and the transporter will work.
We don't
Now-
know if transporter will work.
There's also the angle, Professor, because you're so genius, that you may be able to do this research at Ponsville. Because if they were making them there,
I'm sure they got their own defense. I'm sure they got their own armory cabinets full of stuff, so they don't shoot each other in their eyes. You know.
Anthony, is Professor genius? Does he have the genius advantage?
no. Yes? No?
I did originally, but Jay told me that to take it off because this is a superhero universe, and anybody with gadgetry skill at my level should automatically be a genius.
So okay. So that if that's the case,
I didn't pay for it technically, but it's built in by Grandmaster Jay.
Sounds like a yes to me.
Not to be confused with Funkmaster Jay, which is a completely different person.
No,
you don't need the teleport station. If you can figure it out, let's hijack it from here.
Well, are we going to go back to Ponsville and use their equipment and stuff?
If you need it.
Can we carry some of these Star Pulse guns with us and use them as offensive weapons?
Well, I gave mine to the professor, but they're not hard to get.
Yeah, apparently everybody and their cousin has one nowadays.
Now, the interesting thing, Oaken, from the general's mind in relation to this manufacturing of this drug called BAM that makes people think they have superhero powers up, they manufacture it up in Ponsville. They did it with combining the Enteron energy they were collecting with alchemy, which you know very well about alchemy. That's totally fucking magic.
Yeah, I'm an occultist.
And that information was given to him by an entity known as Wotan, the White Flame.
Wotan or Votan?
Wotan, W-O-T-A-N.
Wotan is an actual, honest-to-God, dyed-in-the-wool demon. We spent a great deal of effort banishing him.
He's kind of some weird, like...
Hey, let's go find Wotan.
Raw spirit of energy, and he was... so there was obviously some occult branch amongst the Congress of Truth that they learned how to summon him and bring him, and with his alchemical skills was able to fabricate BAM. So BAM took extraterrestrial meteor shards and the energy they radiate with alchemical magic to make BAM.
Do I need to perform a ritual? Do I need to perform a ritual to summon Wotan?
Do not summon Wotan.
I couldn't anyways. My occultist is only at level 1. I just
no, but you just know of that entity in the pantheon. He's the pure white flame, which means that the spirit is pretty amoral. It just has whatever its cause seems to be at the time is what it's for.
The risk of sounding like Stark, we're into the end game, guys.
It's his hobby.
Don't undersell yourself, Oaken. With preparation time and rolling doubles 6 times, anything's possible.
Yeah.
Hey, it's happened before.
Seriously,
we're
guys,
getting on 2 hours, so we're going to be winding down the session.
What's that, Jay?
All right. So we need to go back to Ponsville now?
But
likely.
I missed a lot of that because there was a lot of talking over each other. Jay, what did you say?
Oh, we're getting on 2 hours, so let's start thinking where we're taking this.
Okay.
If we can make the Ponsville teleporter work, we use it. If we can hijack the beam from somewhere else, we do it. If not, we get the pressure vessel and we fly up the hard way.
Okay.
But I think the defenses against the Star Pulse rifles is priority number 1, because otherwise we're just going to get knocked out when we get there.
Professor, the fastest way to come up with something like that is to return to Ponsville and see what they have for information to basically shortcut your research. to come to a solution quickly. And Oaken, with his mind probe powers, knows that these facilities and labs are below ground, below the ghost town, and there's several accesses.
But is the base now abandoned, or I mean, aren't there going to be a bunch of soldiers there with Star Pulse rifles trying to shoot us before we can build the defenses?
The general was promising that there would be a brigade there in about a half hour.
Well, yeah, that's my concern, is if we go back there to learn how to defend against the Star Pulses, we're going to eat a lot of Star Pulses before we can figure out how to stop them.
I know, sounds great, doesn't it?
If they're doing this, if it's all part of the FBE, if it's all part of the FBEE, then, and we're working with the FBEE, can't we just get some credentials?
No, the general is the U.S. Army, and he's working with a terrorist organization.
Oh, but that's not a bad idea, because even though the general is working with that terrorist organization, the entire U.S. Army, one presumes, is not, which means the FBEE should at least be able to get us some visiting credentials or observer credentials or something to let us into the base.
Good idea.
That is good. That's how they'll do it. You'll just be able to walk right on the base and look what's going on.
Flash our badges, flash our pass.
And the general will be gone missing for several days and won't be known where his whereabouts are, perhaps? Would that be helpful too?
Yeah.
Would certainly ease the red tape.
Because he was going to meet with the Secretary of State, right? With lunch. And then there was going to be a executive order to roll it out.
Why don't we get some incriminating pictures of him?
This is in 2020, guys. Trump's president.
We can take care of that too if you want.
I think they already did.
That's gonna get you in jail too for a very long time. Very, very long time.
Yeah.
Goddamn United States, sir.
I'm not worried about it. They don't even have they can't put handcuffs on me.
So Chrome, I like what you just pitched me. I find that acceptable, so we can consider that.
Okay.
I
assume that's going to take some time to wrangle, and so is that where we break?
Yeah, I think so, right? It'll be a wrangle, the rest of the day? So sometime...
Is there a points break between this and the next one?
Sorry, Metal, what'd you say?
Is there an experience point break between this one and the next one? We've just had two major battles.
You guys need some experience points. I'll come up with some hero points. Because you've uncovered some critical junctions, critical points, is that what they call them?
Yeah.
Mostly because the villains have been, moving their plans ahead forward, and you walked right into them.
Well, this isn't the season villain. This is the series villain, right? This is like the big villain at the center of the campaign.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It started. It was. Yep.
Yeah, we shut down the moon base, and this campaign's over. But that'll probably take about 3 more sessions. It'd be like one just getting there.
This seems a little unethical.
Like 2 on the moon.
Why is this unethical?
No. What I'm getting ready to say seems a little unethical, but I think I'm discovering why having some kind of mentalist would be very effective if you could mind control governmental higher ups.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the people like the general who are, kind of
president just
terrified by the idea. Yeah, and Metal,
clearance to go onto the base. This is the president calling. Let him on.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
Exactly.
But the only way that Chrome's pitch is going to work is. Bisbee Sharp is going to keep the general on ice because that takes him out of the chain of command, right?
Well, if we got our credentials to enter the base lawfully, and if anything comes up, then Chrome will throw a pitch on top of our credentials. and we ought to be able to handle it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Bisbee Sharp will be making the call, so the way will be paid for before you go.
Well, as far as the general being put on ice for several days, or the rest of his hopefully
Just
not
a
so
day,
long
2
life,
days, whatever it takes to find this, because
the only thing I can say to that is la 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 la. I know nothing.
We'll be on the moon by then.
So, all right. That it then?
yeah. Any questions?